Man City 2, Nottingham Forest 2. I really don't know what to say about that game. It's so frustrating. Like, all I can feel right now is pure frustration. And I'm not going to get on the backs of City too much because we've kind of seen this play out all season. And I wasn't expecting City to go and win all our games now for the rest of the season. I wasn't expecting us to go and win all our games at home even till the end of the season. I knew there was going to be drop points. I knew there was going to be difficult moments at times. And I know Arsenal are going to drop points as well, which is why I'm alright with dropping these points to an extent. But we can't be doing it against a relegation side, against Nottingham Forest. We can't be doing that. These are the games where we need to be going out and winning, especially when we're in winning positions at first. We can't be letting them get back into it and get back into it. I mean, I've been saying this last week, I've been saying this city's different. I've been saying something's changed in our mentality. We've had a shift. There's a difference about City these last couple of weeks than there has been earlier in the season, last year, at the start of this year. I've been saying there's a difference. I've been saying there's been a mentality shift. City now have had a taste of what it is to be champions. We've been let back into it by Arsenal, and we've been able to look at the Premier League trophy and think, yeah, we can go and get that. And that's ignited something in us. That's made us have a bit of backbone, a bit of fight, a bit of urgency to win. That's what I've been saying all this week. And that's why I've been saying to Arsenal fans and United fans that don't write City off yet. I've been saying this is where City get into it. This is the business end of the season. This is City's bread and butter. But that game tonight just completely disproved my whole theory that there's been a mentality shift and a change in City. And it's like I say, it's not just the drop points. It's the way we go 1-0 up and then we let Forrest get back into it. We go 2-1 up and we let Forrest get back into it. It's the way we just let the teams get back into it. We don't kill it off. We have the chances and we don't score them. I mean, that's the difference with Arsenal. Arsenal will have a few chances and they'll score those chances. Yeah, they'll be set pieces. They don't really get any other chances, set piece FC. But they'll have chances and they'll score them. Arsenal are a constant threat all the way throughout the game. But when they get a chance, they'll take the chance. City do have a lot of chances all throughout the game, and we don't take them. Today, it seems like just a complete lack of creativity from some players, or a complete lack of involvement from others. Erling Haaland just went missing today. Like, I really can't think of any significant impact he had on the game. Maybe there was a few times where he drops deep and picks up the ball, or does a bit of defensive work. I love that about Erling Haaland at the moment, but he's not doing enough in the final third for me. And how crazy is that to say about Erling Haaland, that he isn't doing it in the final third, but he does it elsewhere on the pitch? Because I do think he does that. You know, Haaland does do the dirty work as well. It's great to see him doing that, but bro, step up now. Come on. Like, we this is where we really need to step up. Thank God we brought Semenyo in. People have bad things to say about Semenyo. I don't understand it. People say, he's not involved in the game enough. He doesn't affect the game constantly enough. That's alright for Semenyo. That's not his game isn't to be a constant threat all throughout the game the way Doku is. The opposition isn't constantly worried about Semenyo getting the ball and driving at them and causing them constant problems. But what the opposition is worried about is the ball coming into the box and Semenyo being in the right place at the right time every single time and slotting a little ball into the back of the net. And that's what Semenyo does. Like I say, he isn't a constant threat all throughout the game. If you think of Riyad Mahrez, he wouldn't influence the game for long periods, and then he'd get that ball on the right hand side, a few step overs, cut inside, and just curl one into the top corner. And I'm not saying that Semenyo is a similar player to Mahrez, he's not, but I mean in terms of the way that he doesn't have a constant influence all throughout the game, but then he will crop up with the goal, and that's the important things. That's the difference between an average player and a good player, when you come up with the moments, and Semenyo comes up with the moments. A lot of people will hear me on this channel criticise Foden for not influencing the game constantly, but he's not coming up with the big moments as well, so that's the difference. And again, Foden doesn't do enough today. He doesn't. These are the kind of games against a Nottingham Forest where you need your players like Foden, like Cherki, like Doku when he came on, to have an impact, create a bit of magic. A few little through balls or a little dink over the top, or Foden of yesteryear will have got the ball on the edge of the box and banged one into the bottom corner. He tried it a few times last night actually, come to think of it. He was having shots in the first half. Maybe I think we should see a little bit more of that from Phil Foden, a little bit more confidence, a little bit more taking a risk to shoot. I don't know whether Pep Guardiola cooked him a little bit for that, because obviously when you shoot from outside the box and it doesn't go in, you lose possession possession of the ball. It's a bit of a wasted opportunity. But maybe we should give Foden that free rein to try and shoot a little bit more. I mean, he didn't really trouble the keeper when he did shoot, but maybe it's worth a try. Against these kind of low blocks, difficult to break down, we should maybe have a pop at it a little bit more. When I was talking about creative players to influence the game, by the way, earlier, and I mentioned Foden, Cherki, and Doku, I actually think Cherki played really well last night. I don't know why he gets hooked. I don't know why you would take off your most creative player against a low block relegation side when we need a bit of magic. I don't know why Pep Guardiola would do that. I thought it was a ridiculous decision. Even in those dying embers of the game, you want someone like Cherki in there to pull out a bit of magic. You know, who else is going to do that? I don't know. So I don't know what the plan was with taking Cherki off. Touching on the goals, I think the first goal for City was really well worked. Like I say, Semenyo crops up with the goal. Cherki assist. It was a beautiful little ball in. Semenyo gets his boot high up and he finishes the chance, and that's all you need from him. And it's a really good finish as well. Right place at the right time. And that's what I love about Antoine Semenyo. It really reminds me of Raheem Sterling in that he's always in the right place at the right time. And Semenyo is definitely doing that for City. And I think people are overlooking it because Erling Haaland hasn't been scoring for Manchester City the last couple of weeks. We need the likes of an Antoine Semenyo in there to be getting the goals. Earlier on in the season, we were talking about Haaland FC. If Haaland isn't scoring, City aren't scoring. Well, that's changed now. Antoine Semenyo is a goal scorer, and it feels like he's putting the ball in the back of the net every game for Manchester City. So I just want to give Antoine Semenyo his plaudits because he absolutely deserves that. He is cropping up with the goals, he is scoring them in the big moments, and that is not to be sniffed at in a title race. If any City fans out there are trying to criticise Antoine Semenyo, you're criticising the wrong person. There is City fans out there that aren't happy with him, and I don't get it. Yeah, he might lose the ball the odd time, he might pass the odd pass that goes a little bit astray, but at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, he's the one that is putting the goals in the back of the net for Manchester City at the moment. I have to say, I think Forrest played really well yesterday. There was a few moments where they played some really lovely football, and their first goal was an example of that. It was nicely worked, and it was a lovely little finish from Gibbs White, back keeling it into the net. Donnarumma didn't know much about it. It was a lovely little goal, but the defending from City has to be better. He's got way too much space, too much time on the ball. We're not closing the opposition down quick enough. We're not putting them under enough pressure. It all felt so disjointed yesterday, but we've seen this all season. It isn't a surprise that the defence is doing this and we're conceding these goals, looking like we're caught a little bit off guard at times. We saw it against Leeds. In the Leeds match, we managed to keep them at bay, but at the end of the day, if we really look at it, City were poor defensively against Leeds. We let them have the opportunities that we didn't need to let them have, and it was the same old story against Forest last night. I'm so sick of it. I really am. Part of that defence is Mark Guehi. I have had nothing but good words to say about Mark Guehi ever since he's joined. I think he's a top-class centre-back, arguably world-class centre-back. I think he's absolutely unreal. People were looking at him when he was at Palace and saying, can he make the step up to City? He's a good player for Palace. Is he going to be a top player for City? Ever since he's come in to Manchester City, he's absolutely stood out. But yesterday wasn't one of those performances. Yesterday it didn't go well for Mark Guehi. Normally he's floating balls over the top that are really accurate, getting them in the right places at the right times. Today those same balls were going astray, they were going out, they were going to Nottingham Forest players. It really looked like it wasn't Mark Guehi's day. He looked a bit flustered in defence as well, getting caught off guard like I say. So listen, I'm going to praise Mark Guehi every single time he has a class game. I'll be the first one to do that. But I'm also going to be the first one to criticise him when he doesn't have a good game. Yesterday was not good enough. Thought Ruben Diaz played really well, actually. Rodri played well, I thought. Could have done things better, but it's an aging Rodri. He's come back from a big injury. I still think he needs a little bit of time to readjust, and I think he is readjusting. I thought he was alright, obviously cropped up with a goal as well, very important. Touching on Bernardo Silva as well, I thought he was really good yesterday. There's a few little moments where I thought he was outstanding. And Savinho, when he came on as well, I actually thought he was really good. I thought he was the only one when he came on that was willing to attack and go forward and actually create things. I actually thought he brought a little spring to our step. So credit to Savinho for that as well. And for some reason, all throughout the game, I was so confident that City were going to get a win. I was even about to post a story on the 80th minute, taking a picture of the scoreline on the big board at Manchester City. And I was going to put something like, I am so confident we're still going to win this. Mark my words, this will be 3-2. I was going to put something like that. And I was telling my brother the whole way through the game, I was like, I am so confident. I was like, there's no way we lose this. I was like, this is one of those games where we get a last minute winner. And we look back on this game when we've won the title and say that was the difference maker between us winning it and Arsenal winning it. That I was so confident and thought it was going to be one of those games. It just didn't happen. It nearly did. It so nearly did. And that last little moment, those last kicks of the game, has ruined my week. It has. Those last few kicks, my eyes were wide open. My arms were like that on my brother and the guy the other side of me. I was ready to jump up and punch the air and scream and shout and go absolutely ballistic, because City would have grabbed a last kick of the game winner in a title race, and the Arsenal fans would have been sick as parrots. But it just didn't happen. And even now, I am fuming because I've just reimagined what it would have been like for that goal to have gone in, for that Savinho shot to have hit the back of the net, and for me and my brother to have been embracing and jumping all over the shop and flipping, punching everyone and that. Like, it just would have been unreal, and it didn't happen. You live for those moments as a football fan, as a match-going fan as well. You live for those moments. And even just thinking about that just makes me flipping excited. And when that's just taken away from me last night, yeah, man, that was just horror. Honestly, it was horrible, bro. It was so horrible. But yeah, listen, I don't know. What can you do? On a different day, the back of the net ripples in that last couple seconds of the game. Didn't happen. I can't sit and complain. City weren't good enough today. That's the thick and thin of it. City weren't good enough. I'm going to talk about the VAR decisions on a different video. So anyone who's seen that video, just chill out. I have done this video prior to that. The main thing last night was City weren't good enough. City should have been good enough first, and then we wouldn't have had to rely on terrible referees to make the correct decisions. We needed to have just got the win first and foremost, but we weren't good enough last night, so I can't sit here and blame the referees first. But they definitely need talking about, because anyway, right? Thank you for watching to the end of this video. Stay tuned for the VAR flipping video that I'm going to do, because these referees, bro, I'm going to absolutely cook them and have a look at those decisions that didn't go our way last night. I still think City can win the Premier League, by the way. Still have hope. I think we can win the league. I don't trust Arsenal to keep getting wins. I really don't. They're not playing good football. So stay tuned on the channel. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Massively helps me out. And I'll see you lot in a bit.